you want some information. You're looking for information. You're looking for some facts. I have been working on the show for PBS called Road Food, which is carrying on the legacy of Jane and Michael Stern, who were this couple who left Yale in the 1970s to go on a road trip, and they never stopped. They ended up burning through 38 cars, I believe, over the course of 40 years. And they had this, their idea was that they were gonna try every restaurant in America. And their math wasn't great, because that's not possible. But they went to like 7 or 8 restaurants a day for years. And the amazing thing is Michael Stern is quite slender. I don't know how he managed, but as they traveled and they wrote about food, they were writing about these little pockets of America that aren't typically explored in culinary reviews. At the time in the 1970s, it was like French cuisine. It was Julia Childs and James Beard. There were a few sort of highbrow French restaurants and Italian restaurants that would get reviewed by food critics, and then everything else was sort of considered the detritus of American cuisine, and everyone ignored actual like Americana restaurants. And so Jane and Michael Stern started this kind of movement of actually paying attention to local dishes in off-the-beaten path places in the country. And when they would write about these places, what they were trying the food, and they were reviewing it, but not from a snotty critic's perspective. It was just more like, well, that was yummy. And at the same time, they were actually getting to know the people in these communities. So their first book that they wrote together was really about, actually Jane wrote the first book, but it was actually about truckers. And it was through the lens of truck stops around the country, but it was actually this sort of, couple of like intellectuals from Yale doing an ethnography of truckers in America. And over time, their writing was amazing. They would write for the Paris Review and the New Yorker and all of these very highfalutin outlets, but really it was an ethnography of America through the lens of food. So I am, I guess, trying to carry that torch a little bit, and I'm traveling around and using food as an entry point to get to meet people in communities that I wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to talk to. I'm a politically progressive individual who travels in certain circles. My friends are all kind of like-minded, and I really wanted to have an opportunity to get to know die-hard Trump supporters and not get into a fight with them, but actually try to understand, so we could actually try to understand each other and see one another's perspectives in the world. And so I just got back from yesterday I was in the Eastern Shore of Virginia, in this island. Yeah, it was really, really cool. And I was on this island called Tangier, where there was an election on Tuesday. 200 people on the island voted, and 5 of them voted Democrat. It's like, it is a red dot on the map. And I had fascinating conversations with die-hard Trump supporters that I would never have had occasion to have if I weren't making an effort. So, and using, in this instance, crab as my entry point. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see how